Good evening, everybody, and welcome here to knockout qualifying for our 10th race of the season. We're getting ready for the qualifying session for the Kansas Lottery 400. As you can see on the top left of your screen, we have a total of 20 drivers in tonight's event to try and get 7 available spots in the main event. They are basically the same 20 drivers that we had racing in the knockout qualifying session last week at Talladega Superspeedway. Looking here at Michael Norman, who is very close to making his way into the top 35 in points. He just needs to make another race and have another decent run like he did last week, and who knows? Maybe he'll not have to try and qualify his way into any more races. You'll notice NNSCRA has gotten back to the mandated 5-minute clock rather than 10 minutes. You'll also maybe notice there's a little bit different sound of the engines here for these drivers. I've gotten the updated sound pack. I'd kind of forgotten that that thing was even a thing, and finally got it again. As Michael Norman's on the clock, he'll come around, he'll complete his first timed lap of the evening. And let's see what the first lap time is going to be for the 3. 31.796. The only other one that's put down a lap time so far is Dallas McIntosh in the 16. We saw him be the first to leave pit road. And I think he's just a couple car lengths up ahead. There he is. Side by side right now with Sam McMillan in the 41. This time by the 41, the 98. They'll be completing their first laps. Let's see where they stack up. McIntosh, fastest on track. Norman second. They're in the 31.7s. Actually, Norman just jumped to the 31.550. And only 5 drivers have turned a lap, and there's only about 2 3/4 minutes left in this session. Joseph Srigley just turned a lap. Chris Dowd just turned a lap. Now, Chris Dowd, he wants to make this race. Does the 46 because he's only 3 points out right now of the 35th position in points, which is currently held by Ryan Madden. If he can make this race, get a good enough finish in the points race here at Kansas, he'll be back into the top 35 in points probably. Right now, though, he's dropped to 4th fastest. McIntosh is the fastest. McMillan's 2nd. Norman 3rd. Now Qualls up to 4th. But Chris Dowd just jumped to the fastest lap time with a 31.396 with 2 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. Just ahead, Brandon Gonzalez in the 23. Still trying to make his first start of the season. Same for Joseph Srigley. He did not make last week's race to Talladega. This is his second attempt at making a points race. Right now, he is 9th fastest on the charts, a little more than a 10th off of 7th place. Currently was held by Joshua Michaels, now is held by Austin Geip, now held by Dallas McIntosh, as Brandon Gonzalez has jumped up to 3rd fastest. Zachary Fitzwater up to 2nd fastest. Right now it's Dowd, Fitzwater, Gonzalez, Sam McMillan, Michael Norman, Joshua Michaels, and James Qualls is no longer. Dallas McIntosh just put James Qualls out of the top 7. Oh, 3 wide. Yikes. This is a practice or a qualifying session here, not a race. They're 3 wide with Dowd, Gonzalez, and Srigley. And Matt McIntyre just jumped up the 3rd fastest. Stephen Pollard the 3rd just jumped up to 4th fastest. Remember, Stephen Pollard III has to make it into the top 35 in points first to be able to make the main event. Then he's got to make it into the top 30 in points for his win at Texas to count. Right now, he is 5th fastest on the chart with about 45 seconds remaining in this session. So right now, he's in. Seth Cole is also in. He's 7th fastest at the moment. This time by about a 10th slower for Stephen Pollard III. It would be Dowd, McMillan, McIntyre, Fitzwater, Pollard, Gonzalez, and Cole who would all transfer at this point in time. And with 20 seconds remaining, several drivers will probably be coming and taking their final lap as Joshua Michaels just jumped up into the top 7. Seth Cole now is outside looking in. There we go, 9, 8, 7. There you go. This will be the last timed lap for these drivers. The last opportunity. Brandon Gonzalez may get knocked out. Sean Galligan almost got in. He was about maybe 100th off. Oh, wow, Stephen Pollard III up the track, gets the wall. Your fastest in this session is Chris Dowd. Looks like he'll be making the race. Sam McMillan, Matt McIntyre, Zachary Fitzwater, Stephen Pollard III, Joshua Michaels, and Brandon Gonzalez. Those would be the 7 to transfer right now. And it looks like the session is going to come to a close, and it looks like those 7 I mentioned will be the 7 that will transfer in. Sean Galligan, Seth Cole will just barely miss out, as will Dallas McIntosh. And the session should indeed be complete at this point. So your 7 transfer drivers are Chris Dowd, Sam McMillan, Matt McIntyre, Zachary Fitzwater, Stephen Pollard III finally makes it in. He failed to make both, I believe it was, Martinsville and Talladega. So he finally makes a points-paying race again. Joshua Michaels and Brandon Gonzalez will be the other 2 to transfer. Galligan, Cole, McIntosh, Norman, Qualls, Matthews, Gardner, Gipes, Wrigley, Lamas, Flickinger, Grace Nacavito, and John Cittadino will all fail to make the show. So we have our 7 drivers. It's time now to go under the lights racing at Kansas Speedway. So we're going to head there now for tonight's race. And good evening, everybody, and welcome here to race number 10 of our first season of the NNSCRA Hersheys Cup Series. We are getting ready here for the Kansas Lottery 400 under the lights at, you guessed it, Kansas Speedway. Tonight, these drivers will get ready for 41 laps of racing. We had a pretty good race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway earlier on in the season, and so we're hopefully going to have something similar in this one. And we will see who's going to go to victory lane for either their first, second, or, for one of these drivers, their 3rd time of the season. On the pole position is our Daytona 500 winner, Ryan Acosta, looking for his 2nd win of the season, coming into this race 14th in the points. Alongside of him is the Audi of Anthony McCurry. Now, so far this season, we have had Dodge Dart, Chevy SS, Ford Fusion, and last week, Toyota Camry go to victory lane. There are some other manufacturers in this field, though, that still are trying to get to victory lane, including the Audi RS4 of Anthony McCurry, the Mitsubishi Lancer of Brandon Gonzalez, the Mercedes-Benz of Daniel Voiles. We'll see if maybe tonight that will take place as McCurry starts on the outside of the front row. Let's show you your top 10 for tonight's race. Starting off in the 3rd position is last week's winner from Talladega Superspeedway, Jeremy Jones, and your new points leader coming into this race. He'll start off from the 3rd position alongside of Pichu London, who is still 10th in the standings, still trying to find his first win of the season. Rolling off from the 5th position is going to be Kian Eddington. Last week was the only week so far that Kian was atop the point standings as the points leader, now has dropped to 5th in the point standings coming into tonight's race. Alongside of him is Brandon Gonzalez, who had to make his way into tonight's race via Knockout Q. Starting off from 7th place is going to be Mason Powers in the 44, alongside of Cooper Cyron in the 19. Both these drivers at one point were inside the top 10 in points. Both have recently fallen out. And then completing your top 10 is going to be Ryan Madden, who comes into this race 35th in points. The car he's got to worry about tonight is the 46 of Chris Dowd, who did make the race. Those two are separated by only 3 points. Madden is 35th in points. Dowd is 36th in points. Ryan Madden, another bad run tonight. He could find himself outside the top 35 in the standings. Alongside of him, another driver who had to race his way into tonight's event, Joshua Michaels, in the 10. Let's show you the rest of your starting lineup for tonight's race. We do not have any driver making their debut here tonight. Matt McIntyre is making his 2nd start of the season, and there you see the 32 of Stephen Pollard III. We passed him quickly, but there he was. Remember, he's trying to make the top 30 in points. That way his win at Texas a couple of weeks ago will count towards a wild card spot. But I was able to get the new sound pack. I didn't realize I didn't have it, so I got it. And we're about to find out what kind of a command to fire the engine we're going to get. So without further ado, let's go down trackside and fire these engines up.
Driver, start your engine!
Yeah, that's much better than the generic sound pack, I have to admit. So, as the cars get ready to roll off, the top 10 coming into this race in the standings. Jeremy Jones, obviously, is the points leader. Tim Walsh comes in 2nd. He is 8 points back. Rocco Twyman is 3rd in points. 4th in the standings is Jake Baskinger. Then it's Kian Eddington 5th. James Richardson is 6th. JT Bryant 7th. Joshua Lee is 8th. Joshua Circuli in 9th. And Pichu London is in 10th place. The point standings are not nearly as close coming into tonight's race as they were last week at Talladega. The 2 wildcard spots right now would be held by our current pole sitter, Ryan Acosta. He's 14th in points, and Noah Kars, our winner from Martinsville, is 16th in the point standings. The only other driver, again, like I've said the last couple of weeks, that's outside of the top 10 in points that has a victory is Stephen Pollard III. He is 37th in points coming into tonight's race. He made the event. He's got to hope he gets a good enough finish here tonight to maybe move himself into the top 35 in points. Then he can start trying to concentrate on getting to the top 30 in points and then trying to run down Ryan Acosta and Noah Kars to get himself in contention for one of those wild card spots when the chase begins, which is still a long ways to go. 16 races after this. Ryan Acosta, Anthony McCurry will get the Kansas Lottery 400 at Kansas Speedway underway. We're green flag racing. Kansas Speedway can usually hold him 3 wide, although it's not necessarily advised at this racetrack, especially under the lights. Under the lights on cold tires, these drivers can be a little loosey-goosey in a couple of these corners, and 3 wide can sometimes get a little dicey coming out of the corners. Ryan Acosta will lead him out of turn number 4. Jeremy Jones, though, gets a big run out of 4, and he may drive to the inside. Yes, he will. He'll go for the lead, but he'll be about half a car length short the line. Leader of the first lap of the race is going to be Ryan Acosta, but Jeremy Jones is going to go to the front. Oh, wow, look at Ryan Acosta. Big run on the outside, but he gets up and into the wall. Wow. He tried to run the outside line, couldn't work, and the caution flag is out. Caution for the first time here tonight. So Jeremy Jones leads them off of turn 4. Oh, Ryan Acosta got the wall again. That's the second time he's gotten the wall. Looks like smoke on the front straightaway. That might have been... Yeah, that was on the last lap. And, oh, wow, we got skid marks leading into turn 1. So we're under yellow. The leaders will begin to slow down. And, oh, Jessica Shelton's on the apron, as is Zachary Fitzwater. And there was damage. Oh, Stephen Pollard III. Emmanuel Hartnett's got damage. So does Leon Alvarez. And the 32, he can't afford a DNF, and he's not going to risk it. He's going to get that car repaired. Jessica Shelton's Mountain Dew Pitch Black Chevrolet is badly mangled up. Looks like they're going to try and repair that car, too. As is the 2018 for Zachary Fitzwater, and the leaders will not come down pit road. Pit lane was open. They will not come down pit road, however, so they'll stay out. So we'll look back at a replay of what put us under the caution for the first time here tonight already. Well, remember when I said that 3 wide here usually is not a good idea? 4 wide is a stupidity idea. There you see Leon Alvarez gets the wall off of 4. Then he kind of just got crowded up there into the wall by Trent Dunham. And that wasn't involving Emmanuel Hartnett yet. He collected Noah Kars, however, and then Zachary Fitzwater gets turned up into the wall. There's Shelton, nowhere for her to go. Tristan Folks gets a piece of it. Dylan Young's involved. Austin LaPlante's involved. Joshua Circuli, I'm looking to see the 27. If he did get any damage, it wasn't really significant on the Menards Chevrolet. So that happened there. And then further up, looks like Trent Dunham's going to get hooked by Mason Wood. Let's rewind it just a little. See what happens here. Okay, so they were still 4 wide. This time with Bouchard, Bryant, Hartnett, and Dunham. Bouchard into the 22, into the 83, up into the 1. Trent Dunham sent into the wall, bounces back off, clips the 83 of Hartnett, who then goes up and gets into the wall. Dunham comes down, collects Mason Wood. Hartnett comes down, collects JT Bryant, who then hooks the 4 of Daniel Bouchard, so nobody in that whole exchange ended up getting through without getting clipped. Wow, Bouchard noses it up into the wall. And then Stephen Pollard III is about to enter into this fray. The question is, who does he hit? He's got Carson Scott, Dylan Pote, Benjamin Miles all lined up behind him like a train, hoping the 32 is going to be able to find a way through. And it looks like Emmanuel Hartnett's going to come right down into his path, and then he gets hit from behind by Carson Scott. That was actually a pretty hard hit into the 83 of Hartnett. Dylan Pote gets involved there, and then Hartnett runs into the back of JT Bryant. William Brock trying to slow down. Looks like he was able to slow up enough to avoid, but I would greatly question it. Didn't look like Stephen Pollard III had a lot of damage, just that rear end damage, but that shot he gave to the 83 of Hartnett, I would question just how significant that damage is going to be, whether or not they're going to be able to get that car repaired or not. So we're under the caution flag for the first time here tonight. Incidents running from turn 4 all the way down to turn number 1, putting us under the caution already here at Kansas. We're getting ready to go back to green. The lights are out atop the pace car. We've got the signal of 1 to go. Cars in the back straightaway. Now, Stephen Pollard III, right now, I believe, is still scored on the lead lap. He is, but he'll start ahead of the leaders. Zachary Fitzwater's a lap down. He'll restart 39th on the inside line, and the drivers out of the race, there are only 3 of them. Tristan Folks, Austin LaPlante, and Jessica Shelton, who were all involved in the incident out of turn 4, not the follow-up wreck heading into turn 1. Top 10 looks a little bit different. Jeremy Jones is still the leader. Anthony McCurry second, Ryan Madden third, but Ryan Acosta decided to pit under that caution. So the top 5 is completed by Kian Eddington and Daniel Voiles. As the green flag is about to come back out here at Kansas, hopefully they'll decide not to go 4 wide anytime soon, because we saw the result of that. And Anthony McCurry, look at the 61, power around the outside line, and he's going to go to the lead. Stephen Pollard III holding up Jeremy Jones. McCurry picks the right line right up against the wall. He'll go to the lead. Ryan Madden moves to second. Daniel Voiles to third. And, boy, Stephen Pollard III is a roadblock for these drivers right now. Now Jeremy Jones opens up the inside line. Kian Eddington and Cooper Cyron will go to the inside. Matt McIntyre trying to do the same. Mason Powers there as well. So it looks like they're all going to spread out, maybe get around Stephen Pollard III with little to no incident, as Anthony McCurry out in front. Remember we said earlier, Audi, Mercedes-Benz, they're trying to get their first wins of the season as Ryan Madden's up and into the wall. But there's an opportunity right now. Audi and Mercedes are running 1-2 with McCurry and Voiles. Keep in mind, McCurry had a pretty good opportunity a couple weeks ago at Infineon to maybe go to victory lane when there was a good battle going on between him and Austin LaPlante, but their fuel strategy didn't pan out the way they were hoping. And the caution flag is out again. Now, I don't know if the caution was out before or after they came and hit the line. I think it was after they hit the line, so they're going to race it back to the stripe. McCurry got up and into the wall there. Now he'll lose second to Jeremy Jones, who's done a nice job of recovering since getting held up by Stephen Pollard III. And Daniel Voiles will lead him out of 4, and he'll come down, lead his first lap, and lead us under our second caution of the evening. Looks like another incident out of turn number 4. More skid marks down on the inside line in the entrance of the front straightaway. See who these could have been involving. There's JT Bryant, badly damaged. So is Circuli, so is Dylan Young. Don't rightly know who it involved. Whoever it was might have actually been able to save it. Might have been JT Bryant, but he's so badly damaged it might have actually been somebody further up. But the yellow flag is out. Now let's see if these drivers are going to pit. This will definitely work in the favor of Ryan Acosta for the moment, unless Acosta decides to come down pit road with everybody this time, but I can't imagine that he would. Only about 7 laps after he already came to pit road. We'll see if he decides to stay out. It looks like the leaders are all coming in, but there are a couple drivers rolling the dice. Cooper Cyron, Mason Powers, Matt McIntyre, John Arndt, Pichu London, they're all staying out. So this could be a race of fuel mileage, which is a typical mile-and-a-half kind of racetrack thing of drivers rolling the dice, hoping they can make it the rest of the way. So Voiles and several others come to pit road. Cooper Cyron looks like he will restart this race as the leader. But let's see what puts under the caution for the second time here tonight at Kansas. Well, battling amongst drivers, whether they're damaged or not. And right here you can see, oh, looks like some drivers hit pit road under that green flag run, including Pichu London and Brandon Gonzalez. And, oh, JT got the wall. Circuli got a huge run out of the corner. And he got him in the left rear, spins him around right in front of Benjamin Miles and Leon Alvarez. There's a little hit right there from the 25 to the 22. And then Alvarez gets in the back of the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. Both are able to keep it straight, continue on, but that was enough to bring out the caution flag. So 2 former winners from this season. Circuli, our only 2-time winner, and JT Bryant, who ended up winning at a track very similar to this earlier on in the season at Las Vegas. They're the reason for this caution flag coming out. And obviously, that was a big break for Pichu London and Brandon Gonzalez, because I believe As a result, they stayed on the lead lap. We'll see if that's the case, though, as we're going to head back now for the restart, once again, here at Kansas. Well, I'm assuming that we're going to get the signal of 1 to go this next time by, which means we will have lap machines come to the inside, and 2 of them will actually be Pichu London and Brandon Gonzalez. I thought maybe they crossed the stripe after the caution came out and were able to remain on the tail end of the lead lap. That was not the case. They are indeed a lap down to the leaders, as is Stephen Pollard III and Zachary Fitzwater. So that's not good for the 32 of Pollard, who, like I've been saying, is trying to make the top 35 in points, then trying to make the top 30 in points. Still only the 3 drivers out of the race that were out after the first caution. And our top 10 consists of drivers who did not come to pit road under that cycle of pit stops. Cooper Cyron will restart as the leader, trying to become the second Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota to go to victory lane in the last 2 weeks. Mason Powers lines up second, Matt McIntyre in third. 4th place will be John Art with Holden Gluba in 5th. 6th place, Levi McIntyre. 7th, Joshua Lee. Rocco Twyman's in 8th. Charles Sanford is 9th. And Sam McMillan will complete the top 10. We saw lap machines, Stephen Pollard III in particular, and Zachary Fitzwater, cause a change for the lead on our last restart. Will we see the same thing here? The 21 and the 23 of London and Gonzalez are up to speed. They are not off the pace. They just came to pit road under green moments before the wreck took place out of 4. We'll see if they play havoc with the leaders here as the green flags back out here on lap 14 of 41. Cooper Cyron got a good jump, but Pichu London sticks with him, and he'll still be to the inside heading into turn 1. Look at John Arndt. He jumps to the inside line. Apparently he feels that's the line that's going to move, and maybe that'll be the line that gets him to the lead here momentarily. Keep in mind, the 21 and the 23 are not on the lead lap. Actually, now the 21 is, as he forges ahead of Cooper Cyron. And, oh, that's close off the corner. Cooper Cyron's into the wall. He nearly came back down into traffic, but he hung on to her. And now the battle's on for the lead. Well, it was. John Art now is in control. Levi McIntyre, he's riding up the racetrack there, along with Holden Gluba. And John Art now opens up a bit of a gap, and the caution flag's out again. Drivers are having a lot of difficulty keeping control of their race cars around others, it seems. And the yellow flag comes out, and that is a saving grace for Pichu London. He'll be back on the tail end of the lead lap now, as he will cross the line ahead of John Art. Looks like another incident out of turn 4. And onto the front straightaway. And there is smoke up ahead. Someone's engine has expired. And that is Stephen Pollard III. A bad night just turns worse for the King Taco Ford. Boy, this was not the kind of a race Stephen Pollard III was hoping for. You can be guaranteed of that. Dylan Young, his teammate JT Bryant, they're both coming to pit road. Oh, Charles Sanford's on pit road and smoking. And he restarted inside the top 10. I just saw a lot of damage on the front of Trent Dunham's machine as well. Rocco Twyman's on pit road. Daniel Voil's on pit road. I saw Carson Scott and Zachary Fitzwater. And the leaders are hitting pit road. John Art leading them down. Looks like a lot of our front runners got caught up in this one. And from just the vicinity of where they were running and considering who was involved, you gotta think it had something to do with slower lap machines. So as John Art makes his pit stop along with the rest of the leaders, looks like nobody decided to roll the dice and stay out this time. Let's take a look at a replay. What put us under our 3rd caution already of the evening here at Kansas. Well, at racetracks with high speeds, there's little to no reaction time. This was close up to the front of the field. This was a battle for 8th. Rocco Twyman gets the wall, comes down across the notes of Charles Sanford. Joshua Michaels gets involved as well. And then this is the problem of these speedways and these types of front straightaways. They're going to come right back up the racetrack in front of traffic. Carson Scott gets a shot right there. Here comes Dylan Poteet, nowhere to go. Chris Dowd, Stephen Pollard III, Fitzwater. And I might as well not even commentate, just watch and see who piles in. Take a look. That's... oh my goodness, that's at least 20 cars right there. At least. Jeremy Jones, our points leader, is in that So is Joshua Circuli. So is JT Bryant. More impact as JT Bryant actually is flipped over. That hit, I think, came from his teammate Dylan Young. Trent Dunham's car flips over onto his roof as well. And just look at the carnage. If I look through the point stands and the drivers that were involved as far as points are concerned and all of that, that was 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th in the point standings. That wreck had a huge point significance. Trent Dunham's car actually came to rest on its roof past the start-finish line. And oh my goodness, this is going to have huge points implications heading into next week. There's no doubt about that. The lights just went out atop the pace car. Will go back green. Carson Scott is on the tail end of the lead lap. Your leader for the restart is Daniel Bouchard in the 4. Now, I'm pretty certain he might have stayed out, but he is damaged. 2nd place, Levi McIntyre. He was the first car off pit road. Then it's John Arndt, Joshua Lee, Blaine Keys, James Richardson, Ryan Madden, Jake Baskinger, Sam McMillan, and Emmanuel Hartnett. Let's find out who the rest of your survivors are. 11th place will be McCrory, 12th, William Brock, 13th, Leon Alvarez, 14th, Matt McIntyre, 15th, Ryan Acosta, 16th place is Mason Powers, 17th, Joshua Michaels, 18th, Noah Kars, 19th, Cooper Cyron. Completing the top 20 is Holden Gluba. 21st, Tim Walsh. 22nd, Jeremy Jones. 23rd, Kian Eddington. Mason Wood, 24th. 25th, Benjamin Miles. Pichu Lennon back in the lead lap in 26th. And Brandon Gonzalez is 28th, a lap down. 27th place is Carson Scott on the tail end of the lead lap, which means we have a total of 14 drivers out of the race. Green flag back out. Those 14 drivers include Daniel Voiles, Charles Sanford. Oh, and this is not a good restart at all. Carson Scott holding up everybody, and John Arndt will go to the lead. Brandon Gonzalez got back on the lead lap, but continuing on down the list of DNFers, Rocco Twyman, Dylan Poteet, Chris Dowd, also Trent Dunham, Joshua Circuli, JT Bryant, Dylan Young, Stephen Paul III, and Zachary Fitzwater. And the driver that Chris Dowd had to finish ahead of here coming into tonight's race was Ryan Madden, who's running the top 10, so Chris Dowd may not make it into the top 35 in points with that finish. As Joshua Lee is going for the top position. Trying to also put Brandon Gonzalez a lap down. Gonzalez runs wide through that corner, gets up into the wall. And John Arndt. Now we'll go back to the inside. Whoa! Do we have a caution? We might have a caution. I hit the wrong button, but it looks like Mason Wood and Jeremy Jones got into it on the front straightaway, and the caution flag is indeed out. And Joshua Lee gets the runoff of 4, and looks like he'll lead us under our 4th caution of the evening. We have just barely crossed the halfway point of this race. And there is Mason Wood and Jeremy Jones, who are the two I'm pretty certain have brought out this yellow flag. Brandon Gonzalez was not able to be ahead of these drivers, these leaders, when that caution came out, so he'll still restart a lap down when we go back green. And I don't know if these drivers are going to come to pit road again or not. Most of them were just on pit road under the last caution, but we'll see. Now they're running pretty low on the track, maybe coming to pit road, and it looks like they are going to be coming to the pit lane. We'll see if anybody rolls the dice, tries to gain some track position by staying out. Brandon Gonzalez has to, because he's not on the lead lap. Sam McMillan, Jake Baskinger, William Brock, a number of drivers actually decide to stay out. Looks like only 6 of the leaders will come to pit road. So, we're under caution once again. Let's take a look and see what happened between the 14 of Mason Wood and our points leader and pole sitter of tonight. Or no, actually, I'm sorry, he started 3rd. Jeremy Jones in the 18. Here's what happened. They were 3 wide, several rows deep near the rear of the field here, but that wasn't what caused the wreck. Right here, Noah Kars gets the wall, kills his momentum just in front of Jeremy Jones. Jones then turns down into Mason Wood and shoots the 14 up the racetrack, and he actually collected the 42 of Noah Kars into that. Didn't know that the Seattle Seahawks Chevrolet, our Martinsville winner, was involved, and then Pichu London, who had just gotten back on the lead lap, has to slam the brakes in order to not run into the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. And Cars is going to pancake the right side into the wall one more time. So that was actually closer to the rear of the field at the time, but it puts us under the caution once again. So cautions breeding cautions here tonight at Kansas, and this thing could come down to fuel strategy the way that these yellow flags seem to be spacing themselves out. So let's go back now. For the restart, I believe that the leader will be the 41 of Sam McMillan. We should get the signal of 1 lap to go when they hit the stripe this next time by. Sam McMillan's only made a limited number of starts this season. This is either his second or third points-paying start. And he may be able to pull a Stephen Pollard III here, maybe win this race. He restarts as the leader. We have not yet reached 10 to go, which means we will still have lap machines to the inside. The only lap machine, though, I think in this field right now is Brandon Gonzalez. Nope. Correct me on that. That is Carson Scott and Mason Powers that are also scored off the lead lap. And we'll all start to the inside of McMillan. Jake Baskinger, our winner from Rockingham, UK, lines up second. William Brock there in third. Blaine Keys fourth. Joshua Michaels fifth. Sixth place, Emmanuel Hartnett. Holden Gluba's in seventh. Anthony McCurry still right there in eighth. Tim Walsh in ninth. And completing your top 10 is Ryan Acosta. Now, Tim Walsh came into this race 8 points back from the points that are coming in tonight, Jeremy Jones, last week's winner from Dega. In order for him to take the points lead, 18th or worse is where the 18 of Jones would have to be running, and right now Jeremy Jones is scored in the 24th position. So right now, Tim Walsh, with where he's running, would take the points lead back over, which would actually be the first time Tim Walsh has taken the points lead since he had that win earlier on this season at Atlanta. Ready to go back green, though. And the green flag is back out. We've got 16 laps to go, and something, I don't know, I just have an uneasy feeling that we have not yet seen our last caution of the evening. We'll see if they prove me wrong. Sam McMillan opens about a car length and a half between himself and Baskinger. Top 7 were able to get around the slower lap machine of Carson Scott, but the others looks like they had a little bit more difficulty. Let's look back here through turn 4. This is the trouble spot. Is everybody going to get through it? Nope, someone's around. That is Matt McIntyre. Noah Cars. Oh, McCurry is up and on his side, now on his roof. Slams into the 99 of Levi McIntyre. Cooper Cyron, Benjamin Miles are collected as well. James Richardson in the 6. And the caution flag's out again. Big surprise. So coming out of 4. Oh, wow, Baskinger slammed the wall pretty hard there. And it'll be Sam McMillan leading them back to the line. Fortunate thing is, I'm pretty certain next time we go back green, we will have 10 laps to go. So we will have a single file restart. So maybe, just maybe, things will get a little bit better. That's a tough break there for Anthony McCurry. His Audi was running really well. Started on the outside of the front row. Stayed out of trouble for most of this race. And now took that wild ride up on its roof. I'll be shocked if that car continues. And Sam McMillan is coming to pit road this time. So now who's going to roll the dice and stay out on this opportunity? William Brock actually backed off quite a bit. I wonder if he's staying out. Yes, he is. Baskinger stays out as well. Sam McMillan's the only one that'll come to pit road this time, looks like. Nope, the 48 of Blaine Keys also dipping onto pit road. So let's take a look and see what happened this time. I think it might have started with the 8 of Matt McIntyre, but I'm not certain. Again, a lot of hard racing near the rear of the field, and again, they tried 4 wide. It didn't work at the beginning of the race. It's certainly not going to work here near the closing stages of the race. McCurry got the wall, goes down to Noah Cars, across the nose of Joshua Lee, clips Matt McIntyre. James Richardson gets into the 61 of McCurry, and then Noah Cars comes right back into the National Guard Audi. Levi McIntyre gets a piece of Matt McIntyre. Cooper Cyron nowhere to go as he jacks up the 61, and Benjamin Miles has nowhere to go either as he ran into the 99 of Levi McIntyre. And look at McCurry up on his roof, sliding. And you think his hits are over? Nope, slams driver's side into the 99 of Levi McIntyre. The hits just keep on coming here at Las Vegas. Or at Kansas, I should say. My bad. This track's very similar to Las Vegas, but at Kansas. At least I caught myself. Professionalism. Back to the green. So William Brock will restart as the leader. We should be getting the signal 1 to go this next time around, I think, which means that when we go green, we will have 10 laps to go, which means these drivers will restart in single file formation. There will be no double file restarting with lap machines on the inside line. William Brock is out in front. That car is clean as a whistle. It's pretty much come down to who has not gotten involved in a wreck that's going to maybe win this thing. Jake Baskinger, he lines up in second. Third place, Joshua Michaels. Holden Gluba runs fourth, and Emmanuel Hartnett is in fifth. Brandon Gonzalez is still a lap down, but he's been able to at least survive up to 24th place. Sixth place will be Mason Wood. Seventh is John Arndt. Ryan Madden there in eighth. Kian Eddington ninth. And completing your top 10 is Pichu London. Ryan Acosta is 11th. 12th is Joshua Lee. Jeremy Jones still soldiering on. The points leader coming into this race is 13th right now. 14th, Daniel Bouchard. Levi McIntyre, 15th. Benjamin Miles, 16th. 17th place is Matt McIntyre. 18th, Sam McMillan. 19th is James Richardson. 20th place is going to be Blaine Keys. 21st is Tim Walsh. 22nd, Leon Alvarez. And 23rd is Cooper Cyron. Anthony McCurry has actually taken his car back behind the wall, as did Noah Cars. So we have 26 drivers still on the racetrack, 23 still on the lead lap. To be honest with you, with the hits I've seen taken tonight, I'm really surprised we have that many drivers still running. Several drivers running near the back there I would have thought would actually be out of the race at this point as well. And they're still soldiering on. At this point in time, only one former winner this season runs in the top 10. That's second place, Jake Baskinger. Also, as far as the points lead, Jeremy Jones would still be the points leader with where he's running. However, Tim Walsh did come to pit road under that last caution. So we'll see how that plays out. Green flag back in the air with 10 laps to go here at Kansas. And maybe, fingers crossed, just maybe, this thing can go into a long green flag run to the end now as Holden Gluba looks to the inside for second. Goes from fourth all the way to second in a matter of 2 turns. Here comes the 55. And keep in mind, the 55 is now out of Joe Gibbs Racing. It's a teammate to the 18, 11, 20, and 19. So if Holden Gluba can win here tonight, that's the second straight win for Joe Gibbs Racing as Baskinger got the wall. Did everybody make it through turn 4? Did they wreck? Oh, they're going to wreck. They're going to wreck right here. Oh, they kept it together somehow, some way. Battle for the lead. William Brock trying to hold off Holden Gluba. Joshua Michaels right there in third, and the caution flag's out. Why is the caution out? Oh, Mason Powers spun it in turn 2. We'll get back green. That's the good news. Oh, who's going to be the leader coming to the stripe? Gluba almost got to the left rear of William Brock, but Brock hangs on and will lead us to this yellow flag. And it looks like that was the only reason for this caution flag. Looks like the 44 got spun. The lap machine of Mason Powers. So we're under caution, and here's the big question. Pit lane will be open. And William Brock and a number of others decided to stay out. Can they make it on fuel, or will we be seeing someone have to dive to pit road? Oh boy, it looks like the 7 might be indicating he's coming to pit lane. When we restart, we'll have something around 4 laps remaining. And these drivers want to make sure they can make it the rest of the way. And William Brock will give up the lead to come to pit lane. Who's risking it? Who's staying out? Gluba will stay out. So will Baskinger. So will Hartnett, London, Eddington, Arndt. And I couldn't tell who the other ones were, but the 7 of William Brock, the 10 of Joshua Michaels, who were first and third when that caution came out, they're not going to risk it. Splash and go for the Nico Chevrolet. He's down and away. Joshua Michaels will do the same thing. He's now down and away. Is this the strategy that's going to win one of these two a race? We'll see. Let's take a look and see who turned William Brock in turn 2 and puts under the caution for what I'm hoping is going to be the last time here tonight at Kansas. You know, it's incredible that a track like Kansas, where you think you're going to have long green flag runs, cautions has come out after caution. Yet last week at Talladega, where you're expecting to see the big one, we went caution-free. There you see it. There was actually nothing that Matt McIntyre could do. That was entirely the fault of Mason Powers. Kept drifting up the racetrack and just collects Matt McIntyre in his wake. So, Matt McIntyre did not cause that wreck. It was actually the fault of the 44, the lap machine. And that's what put us under the caution flag right there. Just basically a two-car incident in the middle of turn 2, heading to the exit off the corner onto the back straightaway. And it sets us up for a shootout to finish out tonight's Wreckfest, if you will, here at King. So, we will be getting the signal of 1 lap to go, I'm pretty certain, the next time around. And if my calculations are correct, that will give us 5 laps to go. Nope, strike that. 4 to go when we hit the line for the restart. The caution comes out again. We will be finishing the race under yellow. So let's hope that maybe they can keep it together for 4 laps and we can have ourselves finish this race under green. The caution flag has waved its ugly head several times tonight. I think the longest green flag run we've had has been 2, maybe about 2.5 laps under green. These drivers have not gotten much opportunity to be able to race each other under green flag conditions, and fuel strategy with running under all these pace laps has certainly come into play. Gluba restarts as the leader. We'll have the lap machine of Brandon Gonzalez between himself and Jake Baskinger, who restarts second. Emmanuel Hartnett is in third. Fourth place, Peachy London. Kian Eddington is in fifth. Then it's John Arndt, Joshua Lee, Sam McMillan, Ryan Madden, and Ryan Acosta. That is your top 10. Jeremy Jones will restart in 11th. 12th place, James Richardson. Danny Bouchard, 13th. 14th, Leon Alvarez. Tim Walsh, 15th. 16th, Blaine Keys. Levi McIntyre is 17th. 18th place, Cooper Cyron. 19th, Matt McIntyre. And then the drivers that pitted under this, our latest caution, 20th place restarting William Brock. 21st place will be Joshua Michaels. Mason Powers, 22nd, and 23rd, Benjamin Miles. They're all on the lead lap. Gonzalez, Powers, and Carson Scott are 24th through 26th. A lap down. They will not be a factor into winning this race. Here we go. 4 laps remaining. Can we finish the race under green? We're about to find out. Holden Gluba gets us back underway, trying to get Joe Gibbs Racing its 2nd straight victory in a row. Emmanuel Hartnett jumps to the inside on Jake Baskinger for 2nd place. And they're almost 3 wide back there for 2nd. Hartnett side-by-side with Baskinger. Arndt side-by-side with London. McMillan side-by-side with Eddington. Baskinger will clear for 2nd place. Don't wreck off 4. Please don't wreck off 4. Oh, they're going to pit! They're going to pit! Baskinger has to come to pit road. And it looked like, was that Sam McMillan that also had to come to pit road with him? No, it was Emmanuel Hartnett and Ryan Acosta. Oh, just don't wreck, please. Brandon Gonzalez trying to get back on the tail end of the lead lap. Not sure how happy Holden Gluba is that he has to race with a lap machine right now. We're still green right now. And Gluba, is Gluba coming for pit road? Gonzalez just gave a lot of room out of the corner, and Gluba's coming to pit lane. Pichu London to the lead. Oh, don't wreck. Don't wreck! Oh, save it! Save it! Save it! Oh, they saved it! They saved it! Joshua Lee, Tim Walsh, they hung on to it! We're still green! Battle for the lead! Here comes Sam McMillan to the inside! They've just got to make it around one more time to the white. That's all they got to do. Oh, come on. Take the white flag, please. Sam McMillan leads. London in 2nd. White flag displayed. We'll race it back to the line. Eddington, Madden, Art, that's your top 5, but it's going to come down between these 2. McMillan and London. Gonzalez trying to throw the block here on McMillan. Here comes London, trying to get a run down the back straightaway. We're still green. Nobody is wrecked. And Sam McMillan is going to come out of turn number 4 for the final time. He's going to capture his first win of the season, taking the Kansas Lottery 400 at Kansas Speedway. Go back about maybe 2-3 cautions to when McMillan gave up the lead to come down and pit. It all cycled back around, and Sam McMillan takes the checkered flag here tonight. But now, we've been focusing a lot of our attention on Stephen Pollard III trying to make it into the top 35 in points to have his win count toward a wild card spot. The same deal is going to happen for the next few weeks for that 41 team of Sam McMillan. He came into this race outside the top 35 in points, had to race his way into tonight's event via knockout qualifying, and now for that victory to count for him towards a wild card spot in the chase, he's got to get himself into the top 30 in the point standings. What a crazy race. I cannot believe Joshua Lee and Tim Walsh were able to keep it together there in those closing stages. I thought they were going to wreck and going to finish this race under caution. So McMillan wins. Pichu London 10th in the points. A solid outing for him in second. How about Kian Eddington? 1 week after he loses the points lead, comes away with a third place run here tonight at Kansas. This will get him back in contention maybe for the points lead. We'll see how everything shapes out after this race is over. John Arndt, great run for him in fourth. And James Richardson, we never really talked about the six at all tonight. And there he is with a solid run of fifth place. Ryan Madden, this will help the 88 team get away from 35th in points for sure, especially with the hardship Chris Dowd suffered tonight. So Ryan Madden, he's got himself in a little bit of safety zone right now for next week. Leon Alvarez gets 7th place, a great run for him. That's actually, I think, the third straight week he's had a great finish. He had a good run, I think it was at Infineon, and then I think he had another good run at Talladega. So solid outing there for the 9 team. Tim Walsh, let's see, where did Jeremy Jones finish? Finished in 15th. And Walsh finished in 8th. I think Tim Walsh is now only 1 point back behind Jeremy Jones in the point standings. We'll see if I'm correct in that. I was definitely wrong after our race at Martinsville, but we'll see. And then William Brock almost pulled off the victory, but had to come to pit road under our last caution. He'll get 9th place, and 10th place was Joshua Lee after that tremendous save with Tim Walsh. Matt McIntyre, this is actually the second race he's made, second week that he finishes in the top 15. As he'll finish 11th. Joshua Michaels there in 12th. Danny Bouchard in 13th. 14th, Cooper Cyron. And the rest of the drivers to finish on the lead lap were Jeremy Jones, Mason Wood, and Levi McIntyre. Everybody else finished off the lead lap. A number of them, including Gluba, Acosta, Jake Baskinger, Emmanuel Hartnett, all had to pit in the closing stages in that last green flag run. And then there's the rest of the field. A lot of drivers finishing out of the race after a number of incidents taking place, especially the big wreck that took place for our third caution of the evening, taking out a number of drivers, including some drivers that came in top 10 in points, Rocco Twyman, JT Bryant, and Joshua Circuli. So, this ends our race here today, or tonight I should say, at Kansas Speedway. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become a part of. Next week, these drivers will try and conquer the tricky triangle as we'll head to Pocono Raceway, where hopefully I'll remember there are only 3 turns and not 4. But thank you all so much for watching. We'll show you again one more time your full finish results from this evening's race. Here come your point standings heading to next week. If my calculations are correct, Jeremy Jones is still the points leader by only 1 point over Tim Walsh. We'll see if that's the case. Sam McMillan now throws his name into the hat for a potential wildcard spot, but like Stephen Pollard III, he's got to make his way into the top 30 in points. But congratulations to the 41 team on the win here tonight in the Kansas Lottery 400. We'll see you guys next week as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, Offline Racing at its best.